Hey guys and girls, and welcome back to Greatest Good Tarot. Hope you're doing well and keeping out of mischief. Right, so I'll tell you very quickly, right, out the gate, I'm trying to pre-record some stuff where I can. Because obviously, if you've been tagging along for a week or so, you know that we've had a death in the, Erindor's family, and there's like all shenanigans, and we don't know where the funeral is and all that kind of malarkey. So I'm trying to get ahead of the game so I'm a bit more flexible so that I can support where needed and that kind of thing. Okay, so this is one of them. But it's also one of these where it has no upvotes because it instantly resonated. And I was like, oh, I've got to do that one. So we've got a double whammy, So please be, this is a perfect opportunity. If you've got suggestions for future readings, plonk them in the comments down below. And we'll go with that and have fun and all that kind of jazz, especially at the moment when I'm trying to get some in the bag so that I'm not letting you down while I'm trying to, like, commitments and things. Right, so that's out of the way. Secondly, I've got a lovely bit of feedback here. And I would like to take a little bit of time to respond to it because it's a very interesting question that's come in. So if you're not interested in the feedback, you can skip ahead and then we'll get into the reading. But I encourage you to stick around because it's quite an interesting one. This comes from Teabag. Hello, gorgeous. I hope you're doing well. And says, hi, Gigi. No, we don't do the voice. We don't do the voice for the question like this. Hi, Gigi. Thanks for keeping your the videos coming. Much appreciated. You're very welcome. I'm glad that you're enjoying them. Sending lots of love to you and your family in sad circumstances. Thank you. I've had a lot of those sorts of yumminess coming in. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. It's very, very kind for you to do that. That's very nice indeed. Teabag continues that they're also struggling with bereavement at the moment and know how hard it is to function. Yeah, it's just a lot on the plate. And isn't it just? It's always especially, I always find the void between the passing away and the funeral the most difficult, especially when you haven't, like those early days when you don't even have a date for the funeral. So you haven't got something to work towards. It's just that void, in my personal experience, and we're dealing with it now, where you can't even make plans to ensure that they've got a good send off and make plans for to support that kind of thing. And it's just anyway. Teabag continues, but thank you. Yeah, I get it. We're living it right now. As an aside, can I ask a question? Of course you can, my sweet. They like to watch several different psychics / readers, and they're always surprised at the different tone to them. Take the Iran situation, for instance. Teabag continues. As with your reading, my one, the right-leaning ones are saying it will all come good. The lefties are saying, naughty Trump, it's a distraction from something he's trying to hide. He's going to be replaced soon, etc., etc. Yeah, all right. So, I'm seeing that a bit as well where I can. The one thing I would say, and obviously you do you, boo, and all that jazz, the rule of the game here on this channel, is that I hope I'm very transparent to say that I'm not left, I'm not right, and I'm just not progressive in the traditional kind of sense. And I keep bringing that to people's attention because, I'm left and right hasn't existed for at least 20, 30 years. Okay. It's a fabrication. We know there has no, I can't speak. There hasn't been a real choice between the two main parties. That's where this uniparty thing has come from. Yeah. So I appreciate what you're saying, and I appreciate that there are still people who are adopting the left and right. But I think the best example I can give, and I think you do go into it a little bit in a second, but the perfect example I can give is the amount of stink that I got with the Ben Habib reading, yearly reading that we did over Christmas, New Year kind of period. The amount of people that unsubscribed with that and the amount of stick that I got from that was, I suppose, not necessarily surprising, but it was definitely something that was like, wow, okay. I can only read what the cards are reading, and like the downloads and the nudges and the feelings I'm getting and that kind of thing. I can only say that. And I did see, and I apologize, I wasn't going to tell this story, but there was a tweet that I got in the last 24 hours, and I think it was from we get Nate something, someone like that, NA something. I do apologize, but they did tweet me going that I was right about Ben Habib recently, because of, obviously, he's gone against Rupert Lowe, because Rupert Lowe has now done his own party instead of joining Ben Habib and all that kind of stuff and shenanigans like that. And it is difficult, because I do worry sometimes that it's almost as if certain readers are just want to give you confirmation of what you already want to hear, if you get what I'm saying. And I don't think that is necessarily a positive. And I suppose this is the reason why we've never grown. We've got to a certain level of subscriptions here, and don't get me wrong, you're all a blessing, but it's like we've met that threshold where sometimes it's like people just don't necessarily want to hear certain things, or it's the way that we say it, or whatever it may be. But you do you, boo. So it is difficult sometimes, and I appreciate that sometimes, but I do understand where you're coming from on this. But all I would say, not to hang up on anything and blah blah blah, but just be careful on the left and right thing, because that, like I said, that technically doesn't exist anymore. Teabag continues with the actual question. So their question is, do personal beliefs influence readings such that you hone in on the good things that support your view, or is it possible to interpret it, that word, it's been a long week already, behave, the same cards a completely different way to support your view? For instance, if a good card came out, would the right-leaning ones that is a card for Trump, while the lefties would say it is Iran's victory over its blah blah blah. Right, okay. This is primarily from the reading. I think it was from the Iran one, Trump and Iran, anyway. But so it's part and parcel with that reading. But there has been a reading that I've literally done in today, where because it was a general vibes. You'll find it on Patreon, upsell, but it was a 10 of Pentacles for Stuttery Starmer, looking towards, between Trump and Starmer, what's the situation going on about that? And the 10 of Pentacles came up, which is obviously kind of like win, good vibes, excellent, that kind of stuff. But it came across as kind of like a patting on people's back, celebrations, kind of good for standing up against him and all that kind of thing. Kind of like the Northern London stuff. So there has been a reading in the last 24 hours that has been like that. For me, like I said, I get into a lot of trouble very frequently about I can only take what is in the reading. And especially when there are other cards around the reading. that is also illustrating specific points. So it may be, I can't remember the specific cards for Stuttery Starmer within this example, but there was, I think one of them was the Five of Pentacles, so squeaky bum time, worry, concern, that kind of thing. And then there was the Ten of Pentacles. So there was like pat on back, high fives, but equally squeaky bum time, what have I done, kind of worry, anxiety. So that influences, it should, I can only like, you do, you boo, but it influences the entire package. That's why we do the reverse pyramid, because you can see the connections between, because we always look at the connections of how the cards are laying out and all that kind of stuff. So there is like, they may be one card that is kind of out there compared to the rest of the story that's being told, but it's all part and parcel, if you get me. That's how I read it anyway. So yes, I can, I have seen it where, and this has been mentioned before, like Trumpy Trump, kind of bad, and all that kind of stuff. Who's telling you that Trumpy Trump is bad? Who's saying that? It's the same people that are trying to tell you that Stuttery Starmer is good. It's the same people that say the Democrats are good, especially if you've been keeping up to date recently with what's been going on with the Clintons, what's been released from their kind of behind closed doors with the Senate, I think it was, or the representative, one of the two. Yeah, but over there, these are the same people that, it's all about context, isn't it? So I get what you're saying, but I do try and leave my personal beliefs, and I even say in readings, this is me talking. I'm saying this compared to the reading. If you get, I do try and make that clear. But I also do know that there are. Isn't it amazing how, especially, and I don't mean to belittle anybody, and I think we'll finish on this because I don't think there's anything in particular that. No, it's just apart from it. I hope you. Teabag says, "I hope it doesn't sound offensive." Not at all. It's not intended. No, it's not at all. It's beautiful conversation to have, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments as well. This is why I love feedback. It's like we can continue the conversation. It's beautiful. That's what the Greatest Good Village is all about, isn't it? So, but I do worry, and I don't want to belittle anybody. I'm not trying to, poo-poo on anything. But certain readers I have noticed over the years, especially the ones that do the star sign monthly readings and that kind of thing, it always seems to be a positive reading. 9 times out of 10, it's a positive reading, even though the certain cards coming out are a bit questionable. And I suppose this is the reason why I'm we're focusing on Patreon as kind of a spiritual resource. Yes, there's freebie stuff and all that, all that great stuff. And almost 100 of you have signed up over there to use it, which is just, wow, brilliant. But it's all about filling up your spiritual fuel tank. And in part of doing that means that your intuition is a bit more in tune and you can sense whether or not it resonates with you or not, if you get me. So for me, I see my role as, we have a quick snapshot of this, have a look, return to sender, to be, unburdened by it, to become enlightened by it. Yeah. So then we can focus on the good stuff. And like on the Patreon side, and I don't know if I said it publicly or not, but for me, I would I'm trying to make it so that over a certain amount of year, 2, 3 years, I've hopefully built you up to a point where you can, fly my pretty fly. Yeah. And kind of, you've got the empowerment to be able to go and do your own thing, and I've got the resources at hand to do that and all that kind of thing. So my goal, if anything, is even different to other people who it's a very bad business model for me to go, right, the plan is that in a couple of years, I hopefully encouraged you and empowered you enough to be able to go, right, off you go and fly my pretties, and leave the greatest good village and do amazing things. Yeah. That's a very bad business model. But that's for me, that's the main. I would be doing a disservice to the community if it was just about keeping you around as long as possible and kind of wringing you dry for the views and the clicks and all that kind of thing. So, yeah, but I do get what you're saying, and I do. It does worry me sometimes. The best thing to do, is that if you'll know it, you'll get a nudge to, if you see it on your timeline, other spiritual teachers and readers and psychics and so on and so forth, whatever buzzword you want to use. When they come up on your YouTube, take a quick beat to say whether, to sense whether or not this is for you or not. Yeah? Start building that muscle. Start building that kind of, like that feeling. Is this for me or not? And you'll quickly, once you ask, you should easily feel very quickly yes or no. And I hope that helps. But it was a really cool question that just popped in this morning, and I was like, you know what? This is excellent. A lovely teaching question. And like everything, if it resonates with you, it means that it's meaningful to you. If it doesn't resonate, then you know that it's like, okay, this is not for me. This is not a message for me. I think my main premise, my main purpose is because I believe that, like, to feel empowered, first you need to be inspired. All I am, all of Greatest Good Tarot and everything else is really to be that inspiration for you to then build and become empowered. And then that's why it's like, there is going to be a use by date. You're going to move on. You're going to, it's natural if we do it right. If I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm called to do, you will leave in a couple of years' time. And that is brilliant, because that means that you can fly my pretty fly and you can, like, do amazing things in your life. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I hope so. I hope that resonates. I hope that makes sense. But I do worry. It is a worry. You're not the first person to mention it, Teabag, and I really do hope people start using their discernment, I suppose, and use their kind of intuition a bit more, and to be wary of what they bring into their lives, and filter it, if you get me, a little bit. Not all spiritual messages are going to be for you. Yeah, because I keep on saying it, and it's fundamental, because you'll be leaving Greatest Good Village at some point. I don't care if it's through spiritual, organized religions, Christianity, Hinduism, Sikh, whatever, right? Or spiritual kind of hippie stuff. Oh, it's good stuff. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. The destination that matters to me. Getting you to the destination, and that's it. So I hope that resonates. I hope that makes sense, and thank you for your question. It's really, really cool. I like it. Right. So, and this is, hopefully people down below can also chip in and like continue the conversation, because it's I do worry that it's turned into a situation where it's all about AdSense and clicks and things like that, instead of being of service. And And that's why I also quite I find it refreshing talking about Patreon again. It's like you can see, going across there, link down below, you can see how many posts we've got. I think we're in the 400s now. Not all of them are still published yet and all that kind of stuff. I've still got to put more when I find the time. And you also see how much I earn every month, right? And you can even, if you want to get a back of envelope, you can see, you can make a rough estimate of like my hourly rate if you want and all that kind of stuff. There's full transparency on that kind of thing. I do worry that that certain people are just doing it for the clicks to get, because it's like, once you get into like several, tens of thousands of views, that's good money. It's good money. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. So let's get into the main reason we are here. And this is from Anna, who says, hello, Anna, by the way. Hi. Who says, hi. Hello. Can you do a reading on Rachel Reeves from Accounts? She has been hanging out with undesirables and says she isn't. Jenrick has proof of it for the last 10 years. It's on Reasoned. Cool, Reason. I haven't heard that for a while. Okay, right. So, as we've already done one on Reeves today, I thought, you know what? Let's make it a complete set, shall we? And have a look. Thank you for your question, Anna. I very much appreciate it. Excuse me. And it didn't get any upvotes because I saw it and I was like, resonated. I was like, yep, we're straight in. I'm giving it time to get upvotes. But yes, this is interesting. It's interesting, the spin and the lies and the manipulation going on already for something that should be so innocent. If it's what she says it is, it should be so innocent. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, because all these people get photographed at all different places and stuff like that, and even like minor celebrities and stuff like that. You can't vet everybody that you get photographed with. That's fair enough, yeah. But once there's like a pattern, once there's like something going on, then it's like, So what is going on here with Rachel Reeves? For the greatest good for all concerned. Thank you. Always be appreciative. One more. Okay, there we go. One more. Cut and go. Temperance. I've been told like that is most of the time is about balancing out stuff, but this is like the other shoe to drop. Wait, there's more. World card. This feels like it's in its reverse state. End of a cycle, but it's like not a great ending, not a great conclusion, not a great thing. So between there's more to come, and it ain't going to end well, but it is an end of a cycle. Yeah, there's more to this than meets the eye. I can't remember their name, who this friend was, and they've said that Reeves is a good friend and all that kind of, or great friend or something like that, kind of going the extra mile. But there's more to it. Feels like, I don't know if there's like certain speakers that have been were talked in the mosque of the fella that are a little bit kind of questionable. I don't know if it just feels as if it's almost like a game of dot to dot. It feels as if there are so many mini revelations coming with the temperance. It's just going to keep on going. And it ain't going to end well. In fact, I'm going to put that in reverse just to remind myself because I've got enough going on. I don't, don't have to worry about that. 8 of Pentacles, putting the work in. Justice. The truth of the matter. Notice how the justice is at the end here, looking across here. Okay? Putting the work in to try and sort it out, that kind of thing. Get above it, get around it, almost like we're going on a bear hunt. I've got getting the energy here. Can't go through it. We've got to go around it. It's all that kind of thing. The spin. But it ain't going to work. Justice. Whatever this is, the bit by bit by bit by bit, the usual tactics ain't going to work. 10 of Cups. This is happily ever after. Okay, good place. Which is odd with this in reverse. Like I said, that feels like it's a bad end to the cycle. So who this 10 of Cups is, I don't know just yet. It's interesting. I will say this now. Nowhere here, this doesn't even feel like Reeves. We're talking about Reeves in this connection, but that Reeves has not turned up in their own reading yet. Intuition. That feels like an advisor to Reeves. We're getting closer. We're getting closer to Reeves herself. We still haven't got Reeves. Notice the 10 of Cups is looking, because we like looking at the pretty pictures, is looking to the High Priestess. Okay? This may be an the ethical fella, independent ethics person, maybe a committee, but it's a weird one. I'll say this now. It's a weird one. So it may be that individual bloke who looked into her previously, if you remember, last year. So they kind of know each other. They're like on the, like, it feels like they're an advisor, but also have a say in the matter. And the intuition, it stinks. This stinks. It's almost like this fella, I can't remember his name. It's bugging me now. But he's very much, I've got nothing else. I can't do anything. Like the Angela Rayner thing. It's very similar kind of thing. His hands are tied. He has to say, his conclusion. Tower. There we go. There you go. Yeah. No wonder these are celebrating. This could be Jenrick, basically. Kind of cause the stink. Finally, like this intuition genuinely feels upset that they've got to do what they've got to do. And with the tower there, clarifying it, I will stop touching the cards. I'm just trying to wave my hands to make me look like I know what I'm doing. I'm on edge now with Teabag's question, so I've got to make it look like I know. No, but the tower here is just clarifying what this one I was getting from here. It's like they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. They've got to do it, but they don't. They wish they didn't have to. The spin ain't going to work. Justice, speaking the truth. Tower, because of the truth. Bam. 10 of Pentacles. Wow. Double whammy. So if you're playing along at home, we've got the World card, end of a cycle, beginning of a new. We've got the 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, 2 ends of cycles as well. This is the celebrations at the end of the movement and things. So the 10 of Pentacles here very much feels there's more to come. Reeves is not the only one. The 10 of the celebration is the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Pentacles is sharing the wealth, sharing the abundance and all that kind of stuff, because the High Priestess is, doesn't want to do it but has to go through it. Sharing the wealth. This is the crack finally. This is the dam kind of cracking. There's also, what I'm getting is that Jenrick and others are sitting on other bits and pieces. We're not talking about the same thing here with Reeves. We're talking about, now the crack is in the dam. This is what we know about what Starmer's been doing. This is what we know about Bridget Phillipson's been doing. This is what we know. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like they've targeted Reeves or timed Reeves first in this because it's the most damning. It feels like, especially with the temperance, kind of hold your horses, there's more to come. And then here comes the rest. 5 of Wands. So we've got the tower's falling, Labour's tower's falling, Reeves's stock is falling because of the truth. They're desperately trying to spin it. They can't do it. This is going to be a few weeks. This feels like a few weeks, kind of delayed, similar to what happened with Rayner. Dragging it out, couple of weeks, front page news kind of thing. Oh, but I got advised. No, you didn't get advised. Whoops-a-daisy, that kind of thing. Catching themselves out in their own BS. Here comes the conflict. Here comes the craziness. This feels like internal fighting. So in front, the High Priestess reluctantly is like, this is against the rules. Behind closed doors, all hell breaks loose. 6 of Cups, traditional time. Going back to a more traditional way. So this in this reading feels like the woulda, coulda, shouldas a bit. Oh, I wouldn't have done that if I had done this. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done this. Yeah. This feels like almost like an empty apology to desperately kind of keep face, but it just feels like it's not going to work, especially with the Tower and the Justice there. Yeah. If you're playing along at home, if you're learning how to do tarot and stuff like that, notice how many major arcanas we have here. So we like basic maths. So we've got 2 over here. Okay, quite damning, quite honest, to the point. Yeah, upheaval due to the revelations, that kind of thing. Over here we've got 2 as well. The High Priestess, because this is the one that I like continually saying, this is the main card for me. The High Priestess kind of pushes the balance. And the way that we were talking about the High Priestess, and then it clarified with the Tower. You see what I'm saying? So it's like balanced out. This is what they're trying to do, even though this is like hold your horses, there's more to come. It tips. Okay, so even by the weight, if you get me, of the yin and yang back and forth. Okay, I'm just bringing it back because obviously we had the feedback, so I'm bringing it back to kind of showing you my thinking, the feeling of it, that kind of stuff. Overarching energy, truth, Queen of Swords, honesty, blatant honesty, cold honesty, bit of a knee-jerk reactor, but she cuts crap out. Yeah, to the point, quite literally, sword. Yeah. Wow, another 10. Absolute backstabby 10 of Swords. It's over. Painful, which we had here. Painful ending, which we had with the world in reverse. Yeah. Absolute end of an end type thing. And I will say this now, as a snapshot of now, as the foundation of now. As you can see, it ain't going to bode well. So I feel like the outcome, which we always have at the end of the reading, is going to be more about how this is going to, once she's gone, with the Tower especially, and the internal fighting conflict here with the 5 of Wands. This is It feels very much like the outcome will be where this Five of Wands is going. Because this Five of Wands feels as if like now one's gone, the other one, like Reeves and Starmer, you know, always together kind of thing. Now one's gone. This is maybe the opportunity to get rid of the other one kind of thing. That's the sort of infighting I'm getting here. Right. So it's to look out for that when we get there. Right. Now, I may have found coffee. I don't know how it happened. I was minding my own business. Cheers, my dear. But I found it. Yeah. But I like this. It feels good. I'll tell you also, as a teaching tool here, it feels good mainly because of the double whammy of the tens. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. If the 10 of Pentacles wasn't here, that would just be almost gloating. See, I told you so kind of energy in this reading. But the fact that the 10 of Pentacles here, where it's like, this is just the start, there's more to come up here, but there's also more to come for other people as well. And how others have been doing this as well, pandering to certain things. Yeah, it's the change that we've been wanting to see for some time, where we're equals. Yeah, true equality. So let's have a look at the energy around this, which we like to call the gossip section. Okay, let's have a look at this. And I really hope you don't mind, Teabag, that I'm just using this reading to kind of help answer your question even more, if you get me. I think this is why I like these sorts of feedback, because then we can implement as we're doing, so you can see what I'm doing, and then in future readings, hopefully it'll be almost like shorthand. It'll be like, okay, he's the numpty's doing this, that, and the other. It's like, okay, so. Right, let's have a look here. Two more, okay. One, two, right. And we'll cut the deck as well. So, Temperance, we have Tech. It feels like a dossier of some description. It feels like a document. It doesn't feel like a tweet or a Facebook post. It feels like a dossier, if you will. Like definitely a couple of pages. It's a weird one because, and I'll explain it here because obviously we're using this as an example. The issue I'm having is that it feels like an official document. Okay, so maybe a counselor or someone like that. But it doesn't feel, but it feels like this is what I saw at a particular event, or this is what I experienced at a particular event, that kind of thing. But it doesn't feel like it's like an official police statement. It feels like it went to a different part of the council or a different part of like the ethics guy or whatever it may be. So it is an official document, but it is kind of their statement, but it's not like a police state. It's an internal document in that. I hope that made sense. I hope that made sense in some way, but it is definitely several pages long. And it feels like it's also got pictures in it, kind of like WhatsApp messages, kind of screenshots or something like that. It almost feels like they've been sitting on this report for quite some time as well. It could be an internal kind of Labour thing, like reporting to the, I don't know, that head honcho council, like committee or whatever it is. and it was squashed before, and now it's going to raise its ugly head again, or something like that. World in reverse, cyber attack, same fella, same uniform, red tie. I just realised how fabulous his socks are as well. Those are fabulous socks. But once again, we're talking about the document and things like that. This feels then people's responses, or this feels more like Twitter or Facebook posts, or from their point of view, kind of almost like saying that I was not the one who put the squash on this report, or I'm not the one who voted to do this sort of thing. Basically covering their own backs. But by doing so, exposes more of the shenanigans that's been going on, if you see what I'm saying. Yeah. 8 of Pentacles, unclear. Smearing, muddying the waters, the spin, putting the work into the spin that we've been talking about. This feels like suddenly it's unclear. The moon, kind of, it like, what is really going on? Well, resort back to the document, resort back to what people are trying to cover their own backsides about. Yeah, this is the story, not the spin from Downing Street or whatever. Yeah, justice, wake up call. There we go. The enlightenment from you and me about the truth, the wake up, the realization. Wow. Okay. 10 of Cups. Celebration, success. Exactly. They're happy, happy, joy, joy. Jenrick and all that kind of stuff. Quite right. As we were saying before, celebrating. They've got the thing. High Priestess having to do something they don't want to do. Controlling the narrative. Yeah. Tower card. Surveillance. There's records. There's more. See, the more they say against it, the more it's going to bubble and more stuff coming out, and then journalists coming out to then say about stuff. Remember, this is only, when was it? A week? Not even that. Of them, the fella, I can't remember his name. Is it Josh? He was one of Stuttery Starmer's ministers have subtly, while there's been a distraction on with Trump and Iran and all that kind of stuff, subtly been left the cabinet over the harassment of with Labour Together and journalists. More evidence this side. Much more evidence this side. So not only have we got the tit for tat, this is almost like echo chamber, kind of them covering their own backs, but by doing so, they're confirming that this document existed before and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Down here, this feels like, especially when it's on the tower, more evidence coming kind of from the journalists, because they've painted a target on their back because of what they've been doing with the writers at the Times and a few other places. Yeah. So it's not orchestrated, but they've been sitting on stuff and screw it, we're going to do it. 10 of Pentacles. Planned outcome. Okay. This is where we're spreading it to other people as well. The planned outcome. Exactly. 5 of Wands. Taken by force. This is the capture of the party to go somewhere else now. This is the concerning thing I have about this one is that how far left they're going to go, even though left and right doesn't exist. How more progressive Barney flops they're going to go. Because remember, with the progressive people, including like Ed Davey and Lib Dems and all that kind of, and half the Tories and so on and so forth, they like what's going on. Okay? They want what's going on, and they want more of it. They want more, like, especially digital pound, digital ID, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. More control, more centralized, all this kind of stuff. They've completely signed up to the WEF, EU, alphabet spaghetti stuff that we talk about, right? So for them, this is very much brilliant. We've got the excuse now with the Greens nipping at our heels. We can now go completely far left kind of thing, taken by force. Now, 6 of Cups, woulda, shoulda, couldas. It's going to be a long road. There may even be an inquiry, which is going to take months and years to uphold and do and stuff like and set up and blah, blah, blah. The delays is what I'm getting here. I'm just seeing what's that? Matrix board with the trains delayed, cancelled, delayed, all that kind of stuff, trying to kick it into the long grass, because this all goes back to the central, the hub of Labour right now. Same with Labour Together. It's not just Morgan McSweeney, all right? It's like multiple people. So it's in their own interest to keep that in the long grass, because the same people are in powerful positions right now. Similar to this, it's best for the people who've taken over to kick this in the long grass, because if what it's best for them. It's not about best for the country, it's best for them and Labour as a brand and so on and so forth. Overarching disclosure, beautiful. It's all coming out. Underlying energy, health of the situation. The health of the situation is not good. No matter how much they double speak, slap bang in the centre here, trying to smear it, that's not working. So from like double speak, controlling the narrative about ethics of situations and blah blah blah, it's not gonna work. And in fact, this is gonna, alongside, remember, we've still got British veterans being hounded by Labour Starmer back in the day. That hasn't come to fruition yet. Still, we've got the whole Iran thing about not deploying boats when, like, you had a fortnight. Okay, let's just put this into the thing, right? One, you had a fortnight. You knew, like, Trump was moving stuff towards that area. You had enough time to kind of what is going on. Okay. 1. 2, Trump never asked for the UK to be involved in the attack. Trump asked if they could use the bases, and Starmer said no. Okay. Starmer said no. So Trump's flying brigade lot had to do what was it? A 37-hour flight from America across kaboom kasplat and then back. And you wonder why Trump's a little miffed about that. Like among other scandals and stuff that just won't go away. And that's before we even get to the Ukrainian boys, isn't it? That's what, end of March, beginning of April time? Yeah. So this right now very much is shooting themselves in the foot, basically, the cyber attack, by trying to distance individuals. The confirmation is blatant of whatever this document is. Right. It could be, for example, it could even be accounts of like how much money this mosque paid Reeves, as an example, as well as screenshots of stuff. It's like the problem I'm having with that particular card, and obviously the drip underneath, is it's flittering between written word, pictures, Excel spreadsheet. It's flittering between what it like this document. I know it's pages long, but it's kind of like a dossier of quite a lot of things. So So let's get to the outcome of this. The outcome of this reading. Right. One more. Okay. I got confused there for a second. It's like, is it one more or not? Okay. So, the outcome. I hate to say I told you so. I don't, right? But when we said, right, the outcome here from the Five of Wands, it's going to be interesting where this is going to go and all that kind of stuff. There we go, right? So, Page of Swords. Once again, this feels like smear, but for different different parts, from different parts of the Labour Party towards other parts of the Labour Party. This feels more like a civil war within the party, but similar to what we were saying before, where people making statements and tweets and things like that to cover their own backs, and Facebook posts and things like that, in itself is the confirmation that all this is real. This here feels as if, like, the more they do this smearing, none of them are worthy, if that makes sense. It's all out. And the Page of Swords feels like gossip and rumor and smearing and that kind of stuff. So we've gone from, isn't it amazing for a party that was all about country first and like integrity and honesty and blah, blah, blah. We've got smearing there, or, spin to try and put it in its box, which doesn't work. Trying to muddy the waters. We've got controlling the narrative from the High Priestess, who is put between a rock and a hard place. We've got more gossip and smearing about internal fighting and stuff like that. Basically proving that neither side or neither parts of Labour are actually worthy of taking over. It's never about the actual situation, isn't it? It's always about virtue signalling and stuff like that with them. It's just 10 of Cups. There we go. Happily ever after again. Yeah? The fact it's come up twice. This feels like a two break. This feels Labour. This feels like somebody else. Hold on. Quick movements. I don't know who that is. The obvious one to go for would be Reform, because obviously they're celebrating before, and we've got celebration success on top of the 10 of Cups. It's like a triple success thing, and then moving on that fact. But I don't think they've got the political push to be able to. But they're going to. I don't think they can do it by themselves. That may be a collaboration of vote of no confidence in Parliament. But it definitely feels like. Sorry, I'm getting hung up on the how it gets there. Definitely, they're putting the effort in. They're making quick moves and all that kind of stuff. But this right here, they don't feel alone. It's a collaboration of some description. Right. King of Cups, there's the new leader. Or trying to be a new leader. Hawk Lady! But it's been rejected. This is the Garden of Eden that we want to build as a community, as a society. Okay? This feels like someone from the old guard. I may have found coffee again. Cheers, my dears. This, I don't think he's like father of the house. It feels like a lad. But it feels like back in the day. I always enjoyed his thoughts and opinions on things. I may not necessarily agree. Do you remember Charles Kennedy? Yeah, the Scottish MP. Unfortunately, left us way before his time. I felt like because he was such an intelligent chap, and I always enjoyed, like, back in the day with daily politics. I always enjoyed, like, because he seemed to be on there quite frequently, and I always enjoyed listening to his point of view, because it wasn't about sniping at people. It was like a discussion about where do we want to be, what is the sort of country we want to be, and I always found that quite refreshing. It feels like someone like that, and I'm just desperately going through the list of who that could be. But nothing's really coming to mind. But it does feel like a chap. Reforms over here, and this with their collaboration, but this over here, could be a Blunkett. I'm just trying to think who I kind of like the same sort of caliber as a Kennedy, Charles Kennedy. You know, I don't think it's someone like. I don't think it's Gordon Brown. I don't think it's Blair, to be honest with you. He wouldn't come out as a Cups. Personally, I don't think he would come out as a Cups. It doesn't feel like Blair. It doesn't resonate as Blair. I'm just trying to think. But notice how they're looking towards this Garden of Eden, that through a multitude of votes at this point of what people actually want. Yeah? And he's looking towards this. It's like, okay, we need to reflect upon the fact that, we're being disingenuous, as an example, about the hotels thing. Oh, people are just upset about the hotels. Well, we'll close them and we'll put them somewhere else. No. People are upset because they thought they had control over the borders, and now you can you've had how many votes? Was it 4? 4 each time, each manifesto with the Conservatives going, oh, we're bringing it down to tens of thousands. So there's 4 of them. You've then got Brexit, which was like closing the borders as well. So that's 5 votes. And then they basically voted the 6th time with Labour about change. Oh, let's have change, which all they need, like, this is why I get so frustrated. All Labour needs to do, right? Here you go. I'll give you this for free, Labour. All you need to do is stop a boat, and not the one going to Chagos with good old Nige on it. No. You got to stop one in the English Channel. Then you might have people on there on side. But yeah, it feels like them finally acknowledging what people are actually wanting here. Surveillance, the determination moving forward. Quick movements, determination moving forward. This is still Labour. Someone trying to go above the parapet and trying to acknowledge and it doesn't feel as virtue signally as it normally does. It does kind of feel as if they're on side now and realise the dire straits that things are in. I would say that's too little too late, but that's what's coming across. So, planned outcome, justice, second time. 2 cups, 10 of cups, 2 justice. Too little too late. The truth of the matter coming out, brilliant. People getting accountability. Finally getting accountability. Defending their ground. So this is doubling down over here on this quick movement, quick change. The pendulum is definitely swinging in this reading. This is a can of worms that they just did not want to have opened. And all the way through, I'm being reminded of that video that keeps getting played about Rayner pandering to the community. I don't know if she's in a mosque or in a home or whatnot, but she's like, I couldn't have been voted in if you weren't for you, and I really just, but we need to work together a bit more and all that kind of thing. But they're trying to defend their ground again. Tower again. So justice twice, tower twice, 10 of cups twice, 5 of wands twice. Putting the work in, trying to put the work in, twice, and now we've got plotting, planning, scheming. Anything, anyway, any which way, blah, blah, blah. This is not going to end well. This is genuinely, this is the weakest link kind of energy I'm getting here. Yeah. This, because there's going to be like, there's something here where it's been going on for so many years. And obviously in the question that they've been like, obviously Jenrick's got proof for over the last 10 years, but this is not just one MP. This is this is the rot that I keep on saying is being cleared out. This is a multitude of people. A multitude. And she's the weakest link, and it's now going to fall apart. So let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. But the fact that we've got celebration 3 times is not going to bode well. It feels as if that over this prolonged period of time, it's like she finally has to go. But with the justice, it feels like accountability. There is some reason it keeps going back to the Excel spreadsheet kind of thing. Expenses, donations, that kind of thing. Yeah. But with the tower twice as well, this is a hard kind of like investigation, kind of police involved kind of thing. Yeah. Right, Kipperdek. False person. There you go. It feels more like two-faced, but false person, either way. Sudden wealth. So 10 of Pentacles again. Bad health again. The seriousness of the situation is it's like it affects so many people, and like I said, the more they cover their own backsides with the tweets and the Facebook posts and that kind of thing and statements and stuff, the more they're confirming that this is a thing, and it's almost like it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing. Change, yes. There's labor with the rose, and distant horizons again. Overall despair. Mature man. This mature man is the King of Cups. Okay? This mature man is like I said, old guard, speaking truths, trying to like acknowledge where people are at in the country, how like frustrated people are, and all that kind of jazz. Trying to acknowledge it, but trying try and save the party as well and that kind of thing. It's just not going to work. It just feels like it's not going to work. This distant horizons I'm confused by, and so I'm going to use the dinky deck to clarify the distant horizons, because it's weird that it's come up as we're off we go. It's going to be a little while, when it's conflicting with it's going to be like Rayner. It's going to be non-stop 2 weeks, 3 weeks of front page news and all that kind of stuff. And then, you see what I mean? Is like a bit of a contradiction there. So can we clarify the distant horizons, please? Can we clarify the distant horizons, please? Thank you. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. But I will say this Eight of Pentacles here does feel like we're going to put the work in to fix it, compared to the other Eight of Pentacles, which is, like I said, smear campaign, spin, all that jazz. But it's too little too late. It just feels like. It's just like, so you were lying to us before kind of energy. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, so where you were smearing people and spinning it and all that kind of stuff, that was a lie. But now we have to believe that you're actually going to put the work in. It's like too little to, like the boy who cried wolf kind of thing. Page of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Page of Wands. This feels frantic. Page of Wands is my Googling card. Like research. Oh, we're listening now. Notice that they're both of them are looking at this Knight of Cups. This could be streeting. Because Rayner was coming up as the Queen of Wands for some time. But this could be streeting, heart and sleeve, kind of way forward, that kind of thing. Putting the Googling what, doing the research of what they're going to propose. Page of Pentacles, kind of the trinkets thing that we keep on talking about. It's like they can get away with a lot if they go free breakfast clubs, free this, free that, free prescriptions, free. It's not free. You're just spending our money on it. Yeah, nothing's free. But it's that kind of, what package can we do just to kind of buy time, take over, that kind of thing. Overarching, oh wow, Queen of Swords again. Second, like the amount of duplicates here is so strong. The energy is so strong. It's like enough's enough kind of energy. But we got, once again, truth, not, to the point, cut crap out. Excuse me. Underlying energy, having the strength to do it. So this is a gamble. This is a gamble to try and take over. It's almost like now or never. But the fact it's in a distance feels too little too late. It's past his time. Past West Streeton's time. It's, yeah. The more... and I'll say this, if you do vote for Labour or you're part of the Labour Party and stuff like that, if you somehow stumble across this, this ain't going to work primarily because you have dithered and delayed and U-turned and manipulated and told us, you and me, kind of actual people, kind of, we're the problem, and then it suddenly turns out that it's your problem because you then suddenly U-turn on it and all this kind of stuff. This is too little too late. Whatever this proposal is, too little too late. It's not going to quench people's thirst for a general election. And that's what's happening here. So they can virtue signal to say they're going to do many changes, and we understand the political kind of situation, and we hear what you're saying, and here's the new package. And it's like, nah, you've had your chance. You've had your chance. You've ruined it. So something to look forward to here. But like I said, couple of weeks non-stop disclosure of these documents or document dossier, the confirmation that it is true by everybody trying to cover their backsides. More people are doing the same sort of thing. Yeah. And then too little, too late at the end. All right. So we're getting there, people. We are getting there. But my God, are they just... Ugh. Well, jeez. And they're supposed to be the adults in the room, and they're just like, oh, for goodness sake. Why are they acting so much like children then if they're supposed to be the adults in the room? Anyway, we'll leave this here for now. I hope this was interesting. And we'll do another thing another time. However, until next time, we'll do the crazy shenanigans all over again. Take care. Look after yourself. Be well. And thank you for your company. I'll speak to you soon. See you later. Ta-ra.